Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long boys blues, 1975. YouTubers on the rise, reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long boys blues, 1975.
Hey YouTube, Long Boys Post 1975. Quick pause while you listen to that. Which is the 48K beeper rendition of the Star Wars theme music. Unfortunately, this is the only sound you're going to hear in this game. This is Star Wars on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. This is the 48K version. It was released by Domark but developed by Vector Graphics in 1987. I have played this before. I've played the other game before. Why am I doing this, you wonder? Simple. Basically, this is a comparison of Star Wars against 3D Starstrike on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, which was released in 1984 by Real Time Software. So 3 years prior to this. Now, why am I comparing them both? Well, basically, let's see which is the better and most accurate version of Star Wars Arcade. And when I say Star Wars Arcade, I mean Atari's Arcade, obviously, because you're watching this. Because even though this came out in 1987, ignoring the fact that there's no sound, and it's an alright game, I do like it, I do like it. I remember when it came out having a weird nagging feeling that I played something very similar before, and I did, and that was 3D Starstrike. There's a sequel to it as well, which is basically, I don't know how they didn't get sued. Well, it was the early 80s, you didn't get sued for dick back then, nicking games from other, nicking IPs from other companies. Remember there was a version of Pac-Man on the Spectrum called Gobble a Ghost, which if you think about the title is, well, disgusting. But yeah, they made an absolutely incredibly impressive port of Star Wars, but with enough changes, I guess, so they didn't get in trouble. That only came out on the Spectrum Amstrad. This came out on the Spectrum Amstrad, Commodore Amiga, Atari ST. Hell, this came out on everything. Those ones I just mentioned were all because of Domark, but yeah, it came out on everything, and I've got a gameplay of it. You know, Arcade, Spectrum, Commodore, ColecoVision, Atari 2600, which is a really impressive port. Anyway, now the music's getting on my tits, let's get into it. This is my favourite arcade machine of all time, by the way. A sit-down one, obviously. Not that it moves, but that's not the point. Star Wars, written by Vector Graphics, as you can see on the left, right, so there we go for... Now, it's interesting that the controls are inverted, without you having to do it. So up is down, down is up, left, right, fire, X quit, but I won't be quitting because winners don't quit. That's not how you destroy empires. Right, so yeah, I mean this was really well received back in the day, but it's like everyone, ooh, I don't know, maybe because magazines were kind of, you know, hooky back then, or corrupt, you know, paid off, that no one mentioned 3D Starstrike when they reviewed this. None of the magazines. Right, there we go. There you go. Scroll, shields at the top, score top left, wave top right, very slow scroll, no sound. So yeah, what you hear background noise is absolutely a raging storm outside. So there might even be a power cut and you won't even be seeing this. So why am I talking to myself? Right, so there you go. Obi-Wan Kenobi is gone, but his presence is felt within the Force. That could have been awkward if that next line didn't show up, couldn't it? Right. So, I mean, it's a brilliant idea of how you do a Star Wars machine into an arcade, because you want an arcade, Star Wars movie into the arcade, because you want it to be quick, replayable, and rinse and repeat, take people's money. So just go with the space battles, or specifically the end space battle in the first one. Right, there we go. Fire. We're going with easy. Now, it is self-centering, see what I mean? But not immediately, which is quite handy. Now, shields, as you said, the top left. Now, here's the thing. The lack of sound is irritating, but it's not a deal breaker. But there is slowdown. Now, I always thought, well, there would be slowdown. I mean, there is in the second game and stuff. But, yeah, we'll always save that till we get to Starstrike. I was going to say Death Strike. But, you know, it looks the arcade. It does. You've got your four, you know, turbo cannons, turbo lasers on your S-foils. There you go, look, once they're all gone, that's when it speeds up. Your laser starts pissing out like a mad bastard, so you know that there's slowdown. I would shoot the TIE Fighters and the Firewalls, but we're out. There we go. It's kind of cool, because even though it's a crosshair shooting game, you do have control over your craft. Well, you would hope so. And yeah, So like I said, maybe there's a 128K version, I don't know. I'd like to think there is, but because the Empire Strikes Back is 128K. So, but the thing is, in its defense, I have to do it on the 48K version because in 1984, when Starstrike came out, 3D Starstrike, sorry, it's prefixed with 3D, there was no 128K machine. That was 1985, the Toast Rack, my favourite Spectrum. I'll get round to buying one day. If you're quick enough, you can shoot them before they get back to the station. There you go, it's really satisfying. That's still impressive. So, Trench Run. Now, this came out in 1987. I've played it on and off for years, and I only just noticed you could do this. You ready? Let's just fly along the floor. Yep, it completely nullifies all their defences. So not only is there a massive fault with this Death Star at the end of this tunnel, which I shoot and it blows it up, which they really didn't think would be a problem when they built it, they also, well, didn't work on their defences properly. Obviously this probably doesn't work in the arcade. It's assuming you're not going to fly along the floor. To be fair, having played this game for 30 odd years, how come I never worked this out? You can't do it after this trench, obviously, because, well, you can to some degree because there are catwalks. But yeah, no, it's all green. It's all the same colours. That's what makes like shooting them annoying, the fireballs, because they're the same colours as the background. That all makes sense as well, shortly. But anyway, where's the exhaust port? So yeah, I will show you it quickly. Look, it does look nice. It is impressive, I should say. Now I lost my bloody shield. That's what I get for showing you how impressive it is. I do like this bit. The torpedo ray shielded torpedoes, is it? I always confuse the torpedoes from the X-wings with the ones from Star Trek, all Star Treks. They're photon torpedo. I don't know. That is cool though. So now obviously the Death Star, the Empire, they're very efficient. They quickly bang together another Death Star. People are more efficient in the future, which is in the past. Right, so I'll get a shield back, won't I? Okay, so obviously more ties, more shredded wheat puffs they're shooting at you. I've got a bloody itchy nose and an itchy ear. Fucking whoever flew this X-Wing before me had nicks or lice. Should have hosed it down. That's just it. As soon as I start playing games I can't, because I'm playing it on the keyboard, so I can't take my hands off quickly enough. That's when basically everything itches. It's probably psychological. It's probably the stress of being an intergalactic pilot and stuck in such a claustrophobic cockpit. Cockpit. I mean, if you played Star Wars, even in this comparison video, if you played either of these games, but I'd love to know what you think. And do you agree with me with what I'm saying in this video? Yoink. So, right, we'll get through this wave and then we'll be on the surface of the Death Star. I want to see if I can make it to the towers just to get basically essentially all three types of game in before I jump to Starstrike, but that's dependent upon how good I am, which is not great, and I'm playing on easy because I'm a pussy. Yoink. Now it's true what they say in Clerks. If you stop to think about it, the rebels are the bad guys. Think about it. Think how many innocent people they killed on that Death Star. What, you think the canteen is manned by stormtroopers? And also, what's Clerks? Here we go, surface. That is impressive. Now, it does a little cheat here. It makes your lasers. It does it when you get to the towers as well, the same colour as the background. I'm not sure why. I don't know how to program. Maybe all the colours on the screen, even though it's in front of black, so you wouldn't have attribute clash because it's wireframes as well, would just cause even more slowdown. If only there was just, I mean, I don't even care for amazing state-of-the-art sound effects, because it won't be, because it's the Spectrum 48K, but just something would have been nice. Well, just something from the second game, which I played recently in a direct comparison against the Commodore 64. Okay, so again, it's the same as the first stage. It doesn't matter how many you shoot, it's just a certain amount of time that it will go. But I do know when you see them disappear from the horizon and your lasers start pissing out really fast, it means you're about to clear dodge. Oh, it's longer than I remember. See, I just even I can have a little crunchy noise. You know, like Spectrum beep noise. You're like, right. Oh, it is longer than I remember. There you go. Oh, no, hang on. They just get fast? Yeah. It's like sat-nav put in space. Scratch nose will I get a chance because it's filthy cockpit. It's probably because I had my hair cut today. Right, so anyway, yeah, guess what I'm doing? there will be catwalks. Assuming catwalks means people can walk between either side of the trench. So can you imagine what you would do if you walk along and just see a bloody great fleet of ships flying straight at you? First thing you would think is, my God, I hope they're good pilots. And did I get my affairs in order? I mean, that is impressive. And there's less slowdown. I would have thought that this would be more... I mean, I know you're in a confined trench, but I would have thought that this would be more intensive on the system. Why is my eye itching now? Psychological Dave. Save the galaxy, Dave. He's got a lot of money, hasn't he, the Empire, to keep banging out Death Stars like this. Especially after he started a trade embargo. See what I did there? Think about it. By the way, I don't hate the prequel. I hate the second prequel, actually, but the first one I really like. It's better than both the current sequel Star Wars, and Revenge of the Sith is brilliant. Right, so we get a tower run now, I believe, and then the catwalks go mental. Well, they don't, they just move. There's just a lot of them. Right. Okay, don't overdo it, no one likes to show off. Death Star story, how many shields I got? I got 8 shields, I get 1, yeah. Only 1 every time. So it ends, basically, apart from getting a high score, there is no real reason to shoot in anything. Just avoid stuff and shoot the fireballs, because you don't get, well, I'm assuming you get extra lives, but... Ooh. You don't do the budget, Terry, I do. Sorry. Points for the quote. It's a bit obvious. Yoink. God, they're a bit pissed off. Maybe they're tired of all their mates getting killed. Yoink. Yeah, you know, no sound and slow down aside, it's still a pretty decent port of the arcade machine if you consider what the arcade machine is running on, and this is a Spectrum with 48k of memory and no hardware sprites or whatever, which you probably wouldn't use for this anyway, but you know what I mean. It was a very limited machine, yet somehow they made it very capable. That's why it's my favourite machine of all time. That's why there's so many Spectrum gameplays on my channel. Right, speed up. No. That's Darth's tie, isn't it? He's obviously not in it. I remember when I got his tie for Christmas when I was a kid. And do you remember the TIE Fighter pilots smelled really strong, like a marker pen? Oh, maybe that was just me. Yay! Thought you were getting home, didn't you? Nah, not on my watch. You did though, you bastard. Right, towers. They'll be echo towers, I guess. Well, to be fair, maybe they're echo towers, because when you've had to build the Death Star for a 3rd time, to save money, maybe you've got to make it 1/3 the size. So obviously now, the tops of the towers aren't different colours like the arcade, but hey, and they're a bit small, but your lasers are the same, and they're slow down. Your lasers are the same colour as the towers again, so same as the previous one when you're flying along the surface. Yoink, yoink. Now I'm hungry. Do you reckon there's like a ration box in this like there was in Fighter Pilot? Or there is in Fighter Pilot, you know, cockpits? Modern Air Force cockpits. I'm addicted to watching military MRE videos. Sorry. I just am. Never watch them when you're hungry. All food makes you hungry when you're hungry, even MREs. Which I have tried a few myself. That's random. Right, so again, I'm assuming it's just point harvesting, isn't it? It's not really going to achieve much. Well, hopefully give me a deflector shield. Does it? Well, no, it doesn't give you life, does it? Or credits, because... Sorry, Windy Pops. Deflector shields are your credits, aren't they? Scratch that statement I said earlier then. I always find it funny. I mean, if you were training to be in the Empire, because that would be like the Air Force, you know, like the RAF. Like, how come the rebels get shields in their little stunt fighters and TIEs don't even have shields? That makes you feel loved and wanted, doesn't it? Right, trench run. Right, we're doing the floor thing again. Screw Terry and his budget. Ooh, but it's a little bit more tricky. To be fair, I've never played this on hard. Even as a kid and even as an adult, when it comes to playing games, I'm delicate. Right. This game is just the actual, you know, original arcade and the concept. It's just sheer genius. Yoink. Just a shame there's no sound. Obviously there is in the arcade. I used to think the speech used to blow me away back in the day in the arcade. I used to think, my God, it sounds like real life. There you go, stay along the floor. Oh no, catwalk. But they're all green. They're all green. Were they all green in the arcade or are they different colours? There we go. Boom. Right, well there you go. You've seen every variant of the stages in Star Wars the arcade port on the ZX Spectrum. So, let's have a look at 3D Starstrike. So there we go. This is 3D Starstrike real-time software 1984. First things you will notice are the cockpit is completely different. That and the fact that you actually have a cockpit. Then even though it's vector graphics, there's a lot more colour on the screen. I mean, look at it. Your cockpit's blue, you've got your shield on your left and you've got your lasers on your right. If you hold your lasers down continuously, you'll run out of juice and then you'll have to wait for them to recharge. Your scores in your cockpit, this is just nice vector graphics that they obviously stolen from the sort of, you know, well, to make it look like the bits from Star Wars and stuff like that. But I have to play this on joystick. Come back screen, I want to know what button it is for joystick. Now, there is sound in this, but it's very, very limited. Alright, there's no music. But the point is, it's very limited. It will probably get on your tits. But the point is, there's sound in this is 1984. And I'll tell you what, there isn't, far as I can remember, so this might bite me in the ass. Right, Kempston 2 is, there is no slowdown. Right, let's get into it. Although the analog, well not analog, the joystick self-centers straight away, which is irritating as hell. Right, so look, colour, faster, sound, they're flying different colour laser bolts. They're absolutely pissing over this. I don't like this self-centering though. Star Wars was better than that. They're absolutely pissing over the screen. This is unbelievably impressive for 1984. It really is. Again, like when they made Star Wars, Domar, did they not? Because like I said, none of the magazines mentioned it. It was like the elephant in the room when they reviewed Star Wars. Did they not think, or did they not know of this game? Did they not at least think about hiring these people? Oh, that would have been amazing. Or ripping it off. Or looking at the code. Right, initiate an attack run. Right, so immediately we get onto the surface. And you notice, red enemies, still white lasers. I got keep, not tap it, there we go. And different colour laser bulbs. Your shield doesn't regenerate like your fire, your lasers, your fire. Shit, I'm not getting on with this self-centering. Probably because it's on joystick, it would be entirely different on keys, wouldn't it? Think about it, it would. Not entirely, but you know what I mean. This is unbelievably impressive. Colour, sound, alright, granted it's crappy, you know, crunchy sound. I like that sound though. But there's no slowdown. Absolutely no slowdown. Now I will tell you this, they've done enough not to get sued. So we're doing the catwalk run. Blue, pink enemies, different coloured catwalks, no slowdown and sound. Holy cow. This is amazing. Oh, Domar, you should have just got these guys got itchy nose now. Oh, a little bit slow down there. But yeah, this is... Oh, can you imagine if Star Wars on the Spectrum was made by these guys? So yeah, now, when I say which is the more accurate port, what I really mean is the more playable one, because obviously they have made enough differences to... Well, I say enough, look at it. I mean, it even said dodge the catwalks. Yeah, it's made enough differences, I guess, not to be sued. But here's the main difference, so they can. You got to shoot the thing on the left and shoot the thing on the right. Which you could argue is far more impressive at Enter the Stage, look at that, than it was, you know, on Star Wars. And I prefer this. It just reminds me of the end of the movie, which is clearly nicked off. There we go, we'll warp in. Look, now we're bloody Star Trek. Now, how does it mix stages up? I can't remember. Maybe there aren't even towers. It's probably been 7 years since I played this. Yeah, it has. That was the first shit of my channel. Oh, shit. Gotta remember. See, it's more element of strategy, didn't it? Than the Star Wars as well. It really did set out, not just, you know, obviously, but I guess it was more of a case of they were inspired by, not ripped off, because they didn't just set out to make a Star Wars clone. They set out to improve every aspect of it. Strategy, speed, colour, sound, no slowdown, number of enemies on the screen. There you go, tower tops. Both of them at the same time. And they've coloured the top of the I really am so impressed. It's been ages since I played this. Not all towers are ones to shoot either. I really cannot tell you how impressed I am by this. This is 2 years into the Spectrum's life. You have a look at some of the other games they were chucking around in 1984, and then have a look at this. Honestly, you'll be like, it's witchcraft. And this is why, to me and my brothers as kids, this was, you know, we got to play Star Wars at home. Oh shit. Christ. Oh, I'm getting absolutely space raped. There's a bit of slow down there. I'll forgive it. You can't avoid them though as easy as you can in Star Wars, right? Look at that, it's pissing it along. Yoink! I can't get over the colour. I know it's vector graphics, but I just can't get it over it. That's why I did this video, to show you. Like, this is... There's, you know, per se there's nothing really wrong with Star Wars Arcade Port, other than it's inferior to what came before it. I hope it's going to recharge my shields. Well, this is going to be the shortest offensive of all time. See what I did there? Alright, that's Jedi. Penetrating reactor. You're a penetrator. I mean, that's quite easy, but then let's be honest, so shooting a hole in the floor in the Star Wars game, isn't it? Also, oh, it's a red one this time. Status green. Of Star Trek music, even though it didn't sound anything like it. Look, it's ramping it up. To be fair, it would be incredibly easy, that's why they've done it, if I didn't have to take my finger off fire. And I didn't self-center quite so much. It's ruining my mojo. We do, I don't know if it's going to be the same, but we'll do 3 Death Stars, and then I'll end the comparison. But right off the bat, I can tell you now, this is, yeah, right, it's not exactly Star Wars. I mean, again, I stand by my words, which is how did they not get sued? But this is an unbelievably impressive achievement for 1984. And what they're doing in this puts the Star Wars port in vector graphics. Sorry, kids, but this puts you to shame. It really does. It only replenishes my shields a tad. Look at it. Well, maybe they set out to just, I don't know, see if they could do everything in the arcade or better, because like I said, towers and shit on the floor. It is so difficult to shoot these and avoid the towers. I want to blow up one more Death Star. I know it's 48k crunchy noise, but I love that sound effect. Can I fly away from them? It would appear so. Am I going to make it to the end of this? It would appear not. Oh, that is fast, mind. I'm sorry, I'm a broken record, I do apologise. Whoa! Holy cow! Hang on to your potato. Wrong movie franchise. Ooh, there is some slowdown. It's certainly nowhere near as bad as Star Wars. Right. Right, there we go. They don't really do anything to mix that up though, do they? Well then again, to be fair, they don't in the other one, do they? So one more run, shall I run my shields down? Shall I run my shields down? Do you what now? I'm going to call it quits there, and basically I'm going to summarise right now. Which is the best version of the Star Wars arcade machine on the ZX Spectrum? I'll give you a hint. It's not Star Wars. If you have a Spectrum, as I said at the start, if you have a Spectrum, if you emulate, or if you love Star Wars, this is a very, very good alternative. Because as I said, look, they are bloody TIE fighters. It's just a far more polished product. And that's not to say I hate Star Wars, because I don't. So, anyway, if you had either of these, neither of these, or both of these, I would love to know what you think, and do you think this is a better version than Star Wars? And if you had never had a ZX Spectrum, what do you think of 3D Starstrike? I think it's unbelievably impressive. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.